The body count continues.
Welcome to a very aggressive episode of The Body Count Continues.
Well, why is it going to be aggressive, Marianne? Is that because we're going to be talking about Renny Harlin's Strangers trilogy? That is right, yeah? Or is it something else that's bothering you?
Okay, well, we're talking about the entire Strangers franchise, which does include 2 very good movies.
Yeah, it's only 3 of them that make you angry. Well, that make me angry. You sort of make excuses for one of them, but we'll get to that. But first, there's something else that's bothering you. Some news that just dropped that you're so excited about.
I'm going to unleash the beast. So, Dead by Daylight announced their 10th anniversary chapter today. A licensed chapter, a chapter that people have been asking for a very long time. Jason has entered the fog, or will be entering the fog on June 16th. And he's bringing his ugly fucking mask with him.
With the square eye holes.
It is just a movie. It is just a franchise, except it's also my whole fucking personality. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm like, there's a whole spectrum of emotions right now. I know you said you're very excited and you're going to play as Jason because you're a sellout. Surprise. So
I
it's
don't
okay.
think that's the rationale that I use. That's
No, that's my rationale.
That's your wording there. Well, it's like I said to you, it's not necessarily better than nothing, but it is the alternative to nothing. That we get this shitty Jason Universe design in DBD. Hopefully some extra skins as well that are better than that. That's what I've got my fingers crossed for, but it's all we've been getting lately, isn't it? Jason Universe trash. So, I mean, what can we do? Keep waiting for another decade?
That's it. And what you just touched on, I've been waiting for so long.
Yeah, this should be your chapter, but apparently it's not.
I even caved and bought the ugly-ass Jason Universe Funko.
I know, right? You're a bigger sellout than me.
They've got my money.
Fraud not here.
And I bought a plushie too. Like,
But I'm the bad guy if I play the TBD chapter.
I kind of go back and forth.
Sounds like it.
Where this is better than nothing. But the fans that have carried this franchise.
The oldies. Me and you.
Thank you. The fans that have carried this franchise.
Mostly you.
And kept its popularity going, demanding new content for years. The fans that grew up on this. It feels like we're getting punked. Feels like we're getting rickrolled. I do feel like this new design and all these changes that they're making it's all to bring in new fans. My take on new fans is you get what you get and you don't get upset. Except that's kind of how they're treating us, the old timers, as you call it.
That's what we're getting right now. We're getting that treatment.
We got a cider commercial. We got this ugly mask. And I've wanted him in Dead by Daylight for so long, but then I kind of backed off on the idea because we got a perfect game. The Friday the 13th game made by Gunn and Ilphonic, there's so many people that rail on it, but there's a reason that the developers kept the servers running for 3 fucking years after the game was dead because of the lawsuit. Like, that was a perfect fucking game. This is not the resurgence that I wanted. And maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm just living in the
Taylor
past.
Swift over here.
Well, maybe I'm clinging to something that doesn't exist anymore, that isn't possible going forward. And that's sad. And I'm always going to have the first 8 movies. You know, if they take this franchise in a direction that I just can't support, I still have 12 movies. I guarantee you, if Jason Universe continues down this path, anything they produce will be exponentially worse than Freddy versus Jason. Who is this guy? Stupid fucking unibrow chevron. Square eye holes, anime corporate Jason, he's trying to sell you hard cider.
The mask design is kind of baffling, isn't it? Because, like, in the movies, he just happens upon the mask. Well, this new mask, it's so botched that, like, how do you picture it being mass-produced in the Friday the 13th universe to the point where Jason Voorhees can randomly find it in a shed or something? Like, it's so crap and stupid. It doesn't make sense. That's what we get, apparently. Square eye holes. People were buying those in the Friday 13th universe. At least that's what we gotta believe.
When they first revealed the mask, there was a huge backlash. And they responded by saying, this is not the final product. We're not done. They gave us hope.
What did they even change, though? Did they just, like, change the shading or something?
No, they changed absolutely nothing.
Because it still had the square eye holes, still had the fucking weird positioning of the holes on the actual mask. And the unibrow, as you say. I guess I must have missed that part because I've not noticed anything that would indicate to me that Jason Universe gives a rat's ass what the fans think.
After the initial backlash, there was a glimmer of hope, which has since been long
So did they
snuffed
like
out.
put out a tweet or something? 'Cause like I say, I never saw it.
I
I,
believe it was a panel last year at San Diego Comic-Con,
yeah, I remember that. I didn't watch or follow
and
it
it was
though.
the Barsamians and the Jason Universe team, and they basically said, "We hear you."
And we're ignoring you.
They said they were listening to us, and they're doubling down on this fucking mask that's now on all this merchandise. It was all over the Halloween Horror Nights merchandise last year at Universal Studios.
Well, it's kind of a non-committal thing to say, isn't it? We're listening to you. Like you can listen to anyone. It doesn't mean you're going to do anything.
Well, I'm really trying to, like, put my personal feelings aside and just be happy. I'm not happy that it's not the version that we know and love.
Okay,
Imagine for one fucking second,
I'm imagining
Halloween Resurrection comes out and the rights holders
dark
behind
times.
Halloween decide this is our new mask. We are branding this entire fucking franchise based off of the ugly ass Resurrection mask. Could you fucking imagine?
That does sound pretty horrific.
I really feel like I woke up today for a funeral. That's what it feels like.
I hope in game that Jason's actually big and not like the character that they had in that short film they put out a while ago, who is like the emaciated version of Jason Voorhees. At
I,
least make him imposing in the game, even if he has got the botched mask.
I have questions. Are we getting a map? Are we getting a survivor? Are we getting skins for Jason? There's
I
a
think
lot
the
of
speculation
questions.
right now is that it's just the killer, but
Well,
there's no official confirmation of that.
and you weren't into DBD in the early days of the game.
I was not, no. You're responsible for getting me into that, actually.
Aw, yay.
Nah,
The first DLC that they ever dropped was Halloween. Then we got Leatherface. Then we got Freddy.
what a run.
Then we got
Being
the
a
Saw
crappy Freddy,
chapter.
but still.
Yeah, a crappy Freddy and that god-awful Quentin who looks nothing like Kyle Gallner, by the way. Then we got the Saw chapter.
Yeah, and now people are complaining that they didn't get Slenderman instead of Jason Voorhees. That's how far things have turned in the years since then. People are saying they wanted a creepypasta character instead.
We got Pinhead. We finally, after years, we got Chucky.
Tiffany too.
The early days of the game, when we got these licensed characters from big franchises, they put so much thought into these chapters. We got a killer, we got a survivor, and we got a map. The Haddonfield map was so good. The farm that came with Bubba, perfect. The meatpacking plant in the Saw chapter is chef's kiss. And then somewhere along the line, the developers started putting more thought into their original characters, which I'm personally not a fan of. I play for the licensed. Every original character that comes out gets their own map. Meanwhile, when Chucky came out, I would have sold my soul to get the Toy Factory map from Child's Play 2. That would have been the most goated map. So my hope is that we do get some good skins and skins that look like the real Jason, not this fuck-ass imposter,
Yeah, we can forget about him because we won't have to see him when we play.
right? I'm hoping we get a map that is somewhat film accurate. I know that the accuracy sometimes has to take a hit because of game design, so that I understand. I would love to get an accurate map.
Yeah, a map with cabins and a lake. You can't go wrong with that.
I mean, behavior. Why don't you call Gun and ask them how to do it? Because all of their maps
You
were,
don't mention gun, you're gonna annoy DVD fans for real now.
I don't care. Their
They
maps
hate those
were
people.
fucking peak and movie accurate, screen accurate, just beautiful, thoughtful design and made by people who know the movies, know the franchise, and love the franchise. And it's felt when you play that game. So I want a good map. And I want a licensed fucking survivor. I want a final girl. And I want Tommy Jarvis. I want a final girl. I want a final boy. I want Tommy Jarvis in his Canadian tuxedo. And honestly, I'll say I don't even give a shit which final girl you give me. Give me Renny. As long as you give me her ugly ass fucking vest, too. Just
How about
make it
Ginny
accurate.
instead? That's what I prefer, I think. For a DVD game.
I'm trying to make a point. But yes, my first choice would be Ginny or Megan. It's a lot of thoughts today. I woke up to this news. I'm very wired. I've had like 3 cups of coffee. Emotions are all over the place. I'm not trying to be negative, I promise.
Doing a pretty good job. Okay.
And that's my phone going crazy. Let me put it on silent. Sorry. I'm really trying not to be negative. All I want ultimately is for this franchise and character to get the respect that they deserve. And the only fucking reason that Jason Universe has enough interest to keep this franchise going is because of the fans. I don't know. I guess I feel like we're owed. Jason's definitely owed after 17 years gone. I know there's a movie in development. If it's that mask, my crash out will be 10 times what today's crash out was.
It's going to be, but I really hope it wouldn't be, but it's going to be, isn't it? That's Jason Universe for you.
Release a bunch of fucking merch, some collaborations, and then come out with a movie with an epic fucking hockey mask. Like, reverse Rickroll us. I don't know, man. I'm clinging to absolutely nothing these days. My hope is gone.
Oh my. Oh boy. It's escalating. My hope is gone. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that too much?
A little bit.
Is it weird that I hang my happiness on this franchise?
A little bit.
Imagine they announced that they were recasting Madison Montgomery.
That would be pretty stupid, wouldn't it? Like, imagine that.
You wouldn't shut up about that for a month, a year.
Like with the Until Dawn movie, where I announced in advance that I was probably going to be a big hater of that movie. And that's how it turned out in the end, because that was not an Until Dawn movie. And you're talking about something that would be even worse. Imagine recasting Madison Montgomery. What would even be the point?
You're having a taste of what I'm feeling right now. I don't want to be
Kind of
anti.
different. Like what you're talking about is like if they gave Madison a different haircut.
No, I'm not, because it's still fucking Emma Roberts under there.
Okay.
Like, this should be literally the happiest time. We're getting a movie, we're getting a TV show. Mad that I'm not more excited about this. And I'm looking to assign blame.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Get excited. Right fucking now.
I'm looking to project my anger.
Imagine if they announced that Renny Harlin was directing the new movie. That'd really be the nail in the coffin, wouldn't it? But we'll talk about Renny Harlin later.
I don't hate Renny Harlin.
I hate his new movies. I like his shark movie.
It's hitting home for me that this is what Jason's gonna look like moving forward. God damn.
Yeah, we got to move on from this. Like,
Do we
got that.
though? Do we?
Yeah.
I realize we have to move on from this. I'm just feeling like discouraged. Anyways, they better be bringing legacy characters into the movie they're making. I just know the Jason Universe movie is not gonna have boobs in it. I just fucking know it.
Did the short film have boobs in it? I forget. I've suppressed that whole
No.
thing. He had off-screen gore, I remember that. And had lots of apples. But no boobs.
I'm afraid we're gonna get like A24's Friday the 13th.
Like a streamlined, modern day.
Elevated,
very much in line
it.
with the Scream reboots
Yep.
kind of movie. That's probably what we'll get.
Oh
Maybe
my
we'll
God,
get
I'm
some
gonna
side
cry.
boob as like a bone that they throw us. That's all you're getting.
My mind is racing a mile a minute. I woke up this morning thinking we were going to record a Strangers episode. There wasn't really much else to talk about.
We still can. Or we can run about Friday the 13th all day. And this can become a Friday episode.
Behavior pissed in my cornflakes. I
I
called
don't
you
know
a
if it's
sellout.
behavior's fault.
I'm going to be a sellout too. I
Sellout how?
am not going to
Desperation, I
allow
think.
a Jason DLC to be released and me not purchase it. Like, that's
Yeah, I'm going to buy
never
it.
going to happen.
I just hope that we get the skins as well.
But
then I can
just
spend a
because
little
I
bit more
buy
money.
it doesn't mean I have to fucking like it. And that is my point, is that I am a flip-flopper. I'm a sellout too. When I said there was like a spectrum of emotions, I was not lying. I'm all over the place. I'm not happy about this. I will still buy your fucking shit, but I'm not fucking
That's what
happy.
counts.
By the way, my Funko
Oh,
is in
yeah.
the back in the corner behind 3 nice Jason Funkos, and nobody will ever fucking
It's a
see it.
shame slot.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, guys, this has been our Strangers episode. Just to kind of sum up, Strangers 2008 and Pray at Night are bangers. The other 3 suck. And fuck Jason Universe. Have a good night.
Hell yeah, what a great episode.
No, I'm joking.
And
Could you
out.
imagine?
We ran out of time, so that's a quick summary for you guys right there.
I'm going to take a big drag right now, and I'm going to exhale all the negativity. I mean, not all, but a lot of it. All right. 'Cause there's more negativity coming up later in the episode, guys. Fuck Renny Harlin, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For all three films as well. That's what I'm saying. Marianne's going to disagree, but for me, it's all three. But first, we'll talk about the good one. Well, the first good one, way
There's
back in
2 good ones.
2008. Well, that's why I said the first one.
Way back in 2008, directed by Brian Bertino. This, for me, is a masterclass on tension.
Yeah, it's a very suspenseful film. Probably the most suspenseful home invasion movie I've watched. There was another one in 2006 called Them that was pretty good. But this is the one that rivals it, I think.
Well, there's Your Next also. I
Your
feel like
Next isn't really tense, though, is it? That's just
no, but it's Home Invasion. I feel like Home Invasion had a moment in the early 2010s, late 2000s, but this one stands so far above the rest for me. I don't know about you.
certainly up there. I think I rate Your Next a little higher, but that's just me. This is the one I watch more often, though, so what do I know? I'm not even consistent here. Cautionary tale about what happens if you have the audacity to propose at somebody else's wedding.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. It's just a happy coincidence or a sad coincidence, whatever. Like it's such a simple concept, but the creative choices made by Bertino just this movie scares the crap out of me.
Really?
These creepy ass fuckers looking for Tamara when Liv Tyler's standing in the kitchen smoking her cigarette nonchalantly, and you
And he's
can
just there in the
see,
background
oh my
watching.
god.
So for you, that's a really scary scene. But you know, it's never been that way for me, and it's actually my mom's fault, believe it or
Uh-oh.
not. Because way back in 2008, we went to watch The X-Files. I Want to Believe in the cinema, and The Strangers trailer was the last trailer that played before the movie, and it showed that scene in the trailer. Famously, it shows that scene. And my mom, she's not a horror fan. When that happened, she just started laughing. She thought it was really funny somehow.
Okay, but has she
And
seen the whole movie?
no, she wouldn't be interested, but when that scene happened in the trailer, she started laughing and, laughing's infectious, so I started laughing too. We were just having, like, a giggle fit right up into the opening of X-Files, I Want to Believe. So I could never find that scene scary or tense because my mom ruined it for me. So I can't relate
Oh,
to you when you say that's really scary.
I mean the movie as a whole. There's a
Yeah,
lot
no.
of little things that kind of contribute, but mainly it's the home invasion theme. Somebody coming into your home, holding you hostage in your own home. I mean,
Playing your music.
the one thing I do wonder is why they just didn't leave on foot. I know they make it seem like this house is in a remote area.
They're very slow moving, Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman in this movie.
Yeah.
They're not in a rush to get away. They're sort of creeping around, nervous. I guess kind of hoping in a way that the killers, the strangers, will go away, but they never do. It's an issue that repeats itself later in the series. It's really egregious in the Strangers Chapter 1 movie. Like, goddamn. They literally could have gotten away in that movie. Whereas at least in the 2008 version, there's a sense that the killers could be anywhere during various scenes. There's three of them. They're spaced out. They're being stealthy. Whereas there's a scene in chapter 1 where the killers are all grouped together in one part of the building, and the characters could easily get away just by going the opposite direction. They don't for no reason. So at least it makes sense in the first movie that they're cautious.
At the end, when Liv
I
Tyler
appreciate
and
the
Scott
tensity.
Speedman
I
are
just
tied up
don't find it
in the
scary.
living room, she asks why they're doing this, and I think it's Dollface who says, "Because you were home."
Great scene. It's a scene, one of the two or three scenes that everyone remembers from this movie.
And like everything else, it's so simple. You know what I mean? Like, he could have had Dollface give some whole fucking monologue. Nothing would have been as effective as "Because you were home." I can't even put my finger on why it's so creepy other than, yeah, the thought of, I come home, I lock my door, I feel safe.
Apart from that one time when you forgot.
Shut up.
You woke up the next morning and the door was open.
Oh my god. We don't
Damn.
talk about that.
I've done that before, but I have dogs, so they can kind of back off anyone that tries to come in. Anybody could have come in your apartment that night,
Okay, let's not go
poked you,
there.
played with your hair.
Wow, you feel safest at home. It's your fortress of solitude. It's everything. It's your safe space.
Well, they're not really at home, are they? It's like somebody else's house
No, but
that they're
you
going
know
to
what?
because of Scott Speedman had this whole engagement planned out that never happened because Liv Tyler said, "You're not really the one for me."
It's not like they stopped by the side of the road and decided to spend the night in a meth lab. It might not be their home, but he must feel safe there, and she must then also feel safe there because he does. Like,
Well, until the
it's a
killers
v
show up, they just
it's
felt
a very
depressed, didn't
core
they?
feeling. Mind you, I don't live in the woods.
I'd love to live in the woods,
If somebody tried
like a
that shit where I
cabin.
live, like, I'm a screamer. The entire building is gonna hear me, so good luck with that. It's a slow burn. It's a good example of a slow burn that works because they get right into it, right? I mean, we spend 5 minutes learning that Liv Tyler rejected Scott Speedman's proposal at their friend's wedding. Tacky. And then right away, we get the knock at the door. It's Tamara home. We get right into it.
Steadily paced movie.
So the first one's 5 stars for me. What is it for you?
3.5. It's a
That's
good
pretty
movie. Like,
standard for you.
yeah, like if you rate something 5 stars, I rate it 3.5. It's just the way it is. I think the second one I might have rated a little bit higher because that's more of an 80s kind of vibe, isn't it? And a lot more action compared to this one, whereas it's like, as you say, a steady slow burn. The sequel, at night, you know, it doesn't really hit the ground running, but it's faster paced and a lot more colorful. The first movie's kind of brown. A lot of the scenes just brown.
Pray at Night, it's Pray at Night is like the polar opposite of the original, and somehow it works. The vibe is completely different. They lean more into the 80s horror.
Neon colors, more musical.
Neon colors, the music, the gore.
The killers are more aggressive as well in the second one. And they've even got one-liners. At least one of them has.
If somebody told you, like, "Hey, remember that movie? Well, we're making a sequel to it, and everything that you love about that original, we're gonna do it completely different."
And
You'd
10
kind of
years later
think,
too, so
yeah, you'd kind of think like,
why would you have any faith? It's like you with Jason Universe and DBD. Like, keep the faith, Marianne.
"You really wanna bring me back there?
Jason, pray at night.
Stop it. We're not going backwards, we're going forwards."
Although I will say about the second one, you mentioned the lack of survival instincts in the first one. The mother in the second one, she just accepts her fate, basically. There's no fight. She even gets stabbed in the back because she's not facing the killer. She's standing there looking up at her daughter who's escaping.
Christina Hendricks' death is really my only issue with this movie. Everything you
She
just
just
said is
doesn't
right.
try.
All she had to do is turn around, face the killer, and give her a good kick. Kick her away from you.
Yeah, because it's not even the big guy that gets her. It's a Dollface, isn't it? If I remember correctly, it's Dollface that
Yeah,
gets her.
it's
And like, they're the same
Dollface.
size. I mean, not everywhere. They're not the same size everywhere. It's Christina Hendricks, but
I think the intention was for Christina Hendricks' character to give her life for her daughters.
yeah, it's supposed to have an emotional punch, isn't it? With
Yeah.
her daughter watching it all go down. And it does, to be fair. It's just not necessarily logical.
She dies while she's getting her daughter to safety. So while I understand the message they're trying to convey, I don't think it was done in the best way, because I agree, the way she's, like, turning around,
Yeah, at least for an elbow.
I think they could have done it a little bit differently. I love Bailey Madison in this movie, she's so good. The way she smokes a cigarette, you can tell that Bailey Madison has never smoked a cigarette in her life, the way she holds it.
Yeah, she's not like Emma Roberts, who is barely ever seen without a cigarette. At least back in the day.
No, but honestly, I love scenes in movies with people who don't know how to hold a cigarette naturally, because it always looks so stupid. It's such a weird
How
thing to
about when
fixate
it's
on.
people that are doing weed? They've clearly never done it, and it's just so
Toke,
cringe and uncool. Toke?
looking at you, Lauren Marie Taylor.
Who's that? Remind me.
Vicky from Friday Part 2.
Okay. See, I don't memorize these actors' names in Friday like you do.
Okay, let
I
me
know the
let me
main
put it in
ones.
language you will understand.
Okay.
Brown panties offered a toke to wheelchair guy.
I remember now. See, it's all coming back to me. You just say brown panties, and I know exactly who you're talking about. What an icon. That's
I'm
my
dead.
final girl right there.
She's not a final girl, she's
No, she should
dead.
have been.
What?
No,
I'm
so no,
sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would have been fine with that, but Ginny's better. Let's be real.
I was gonna say, nobody in Part 2 deserves to be a final girl over Ginny.
Imagine a climactic fight with a final girl that's wearing brown panties and a sweater.
There's no brown panties in this movie, though.
I mean, maybe they get brown as like the killer's attack. I don't know.
Okay, let's get
It's a
off the subject. I'm trying
possibility.
I'm trying to steer us away from the topic of brown panties, and you're just, like,
Your panties
bringing
wouldn't be
us
brown
back
if like
right
the
into
big
that
guy
car
in the sack
crash.
mask was coming at you swinging an axe.
Stop it. Pray at Night does have one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever, and it is part of the iconic Total Eclipse of the Heart cinematic universe,
The
which is
canon.
a thing, by
Yeah,
the
like,
way.
it's cropped up in a lot of movies. Like, what was the recent one we watched that had it in?
Ready
Ready
or
or Not?
Not 2.
Yeah, that was an alright scene, not so much a good movie.
Also in the opening to Urban Legend, but I think Pray at Night really is the best scene
The pool
of the
scene, right?
3. The pool scene with Lewis Pullman, wow, like, the music, the lighting, the choreography between him and Scarecrow, especially, like, once they're in the pool and then Scarecrow stabs him, and then we get this aerial shot of the pool filling with blood. I mean, visually, it's just
Yeah, I think when you think of
perfection.
Strangers Pray at Night, this is the first scene that comes to mind. As much as we love Kinsey, and as much as she's really the standout character of this movie, this is the standout scene for me.
100%. And I don't trust anybody who says otherwise.
Really, you're writing them off. What about the people that like how Kinsey deals with the remaining two killers at the end? Blows one away and then gives the scarecrow a beating as well.
I I like her fight scene at the end. I think the part where the truck is slowly advancing on her while she crawls away is a little bit much,
Okay.
personally. Like, why wouldn't he just step on the gas?
I think that's how they were in the first part, though, wasn't it? Because like, he was creeping around a bit, not really taking the most direct route to killing people.
He's playing with his food.
Yeah,
I respect it.
like when they blow that guy's face off by accident in the first movie, and prior to that, Scarecrow's just lingering behind him with his axe.
Her fight
It's
scene is
confidence.
epic, but it's so good when Lewis Pullman, his character, I forget his character's name.
Luke,
Luke, thank you.
you're
Luke
welcome.
is walking around the pool area and Pinup Girl comes charging behind him with a knife, and he turns around just in time to knock her the fuck out. He's about to take her mask off when she wakes up and picks up the knife, and he just stabs her repeatedly just as Scarecrow is walking up.
Yeah,
Luke
if I remember correctly, she dies with a mask on.
Yeah, and Luke looks at Scarecrow and he goes, "I killed one of yours."
Cringe.
He's a fucking icon for that. He's, like, taunting him. Not a great idea in hindsight, because
Well, he
Scarecrow does
survives though, doesn't he?
he does survive, but it really does look like Scarecrow killed him in that pool. The first time I watched, I thought he was dead. I was a bit sad.
Hey, we have the original Chad Meeks Martin right here. He survived certain death just to come back at the finale.
I mean, you can see
He
all
did
the
get wrecked.
blood. So much blood. There's no way. There's no way.
Who's your favorite stranger, actually?
I mean, I gotta go Scarecrow. You know I have a thing for men in
I was
masks.
gonna say you love big men in masks, just
I
killing
do.
everyone they see. So
I
that tracks.
do.
I can't say that I'm surprised by that. I always like Pinup Girl the most because I thought she had the best look out of all the characters. Although she tends to do the least compared to the others. Like she does the least work, really, at least in the first two movies. I just like how she looks, and they had this really great poster when the first movie came out that was just her mask, and that really got me hyped up to see the movie, just that one poster. Because the designs are so good for the killers in these movies.
Aesthetically, Pinup Girl is the most interesting. Dollface does most of the work.
Yeah, she has the lines. I think towards the end of the first one, Pinup Girl has a couple of lines, but they're not that significant. She follows Liv Tyler in that one scene.
She does. Look, their job ultimately is to look creepy, and all 3 of them achieve this effortless. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Effortlessly. Effortlessly. There we go, I got it.
Effortlessly.
Pray at Night, if they had gone the same route as the original, I kind of feel like it would have just felt like more of the same. So I really enjoy the pivot. You're taking a story about the same 3 characters, and it's another home invasion, even though the movie doesn't really take place at that the whole movie doesn't really take place at that location. The pivot really kind of benefits the story in that it doesn't feel stale. Bertino wrote it, so I'm wondering how much of what he wrote contained the aesthetic that we got, or if that was the director or someone else. But
I
such
would
a good
think that
movie,
it's
fun
more the
movie.
director than anything, the star, because we watched Primate not long ago, and it's the same sort of visual styles that he brought to that. S- So I would think that the director really upgraded that. But I did appreciate it, like you, the shift in style. They could have easily just done the same thing, different location, but they mixed it up and I liked it. And it's certainly better than what was to come a few years later. 4 stars for this one, by the way.
Oh, you like this one more than the first?
Yeah, it's just more my vibe. I mean, on a technical level, they're about the same for me, but yeah, I always enjoyed this one just a little bit more.
Well, 5 stars for me, of course.
Oh, yeah.
5-star horror.
I was going to say the exact same thing. 5-star horror.
Wow.
You jinxed it.
Get out of my head.
But that's enough 5-star movies for now, Marianne, because now we got to talk about what Renny Harlin did. A guy who saw 2 movies named The Strangers and decided to demystify completely. What if they weren't strangers? What if they were acquaintances?
The Strangers 2008 is a perfect movie to me, being butchered and spread across 3 movies with backstory. Because in the 2 original movies, or the original and Pray at Night, there is no backstory.
Yeah,
This is what makes
the
them
closest
creepy.
thing we get to any kind of backstory is a reference at the end to this being the first time they'd done the killing.
Yep. We
Other
know
than that,
nothing
they're
about
just blank
them,
slates.
and it's better that way. We like it that way. And Renny Harlin asks the question, what if we Rob zombified
Come on
these
now.
3? No, but it's true.
Is it though? Because, Rob Zombie, like, say what you will about him, at least he's got some sort of style to the way that he makes movies. He's got an aesthetic.
I'm not
Rennie
talking about
Harlin has nothing.
I'm not talking about the style, though. I'm talking specifically about Michael's childhood.
His origin story. Yeah,
So we get a backstory on these 3 that nobody fucking asked for, by the way, and as it turns out, they had troubled childhoods.
I
I
mean, they
don't
had nonsense childhoods from
fucking
what I saw.
care.
It's just a gibberish criminal origin story for all 3 of these killers.
I don't wanna sympathize.
Hey, and we even get an origin story for Tamara in these movies because, like, Rennie Harlin does not believe in
Jesus
mystery. He
Christ.
doesn't believe in subtlety. Like, he doesn't believe in leaving anything to the imagination in these movies. So you even get a backstory for Tamara, and it's these weird, washed out flashback scenes of terrible child actors acting out this ridiculous
Oh my
scenario that he's
god.
cooked up for who Tamara was. It's some girl that one of the strangers was into when he was a kid, and the other stranger was jealous. Blah blah blah.
And killed her.
Yeah, and then they
Decided to kill people together.
I don't
It's
know.
all very stupid.
And Richard breaks their dad, who's, like, pulled strings to keep them free and covered up for them, I guess over, what, 2 decades now?
Well, that's the 3rd movie. We don't get much of him in the 1st movie. And you know what? This is what
They
kept me
drip feed
going.
us Richard Brake.
This is what kept me going with this franchise.
They get you coming back by just having him there for, like, 30 seconds.
I will always be sad for Richard Brake, and when the whole thing unraveled in chapter 3, which we'll get to, I was like, "Okay, I get a lot of Richard Brake, but it was the most
But
predictable
at what
shit
cost? Like,
at the
so
cost of my
unimaginable.
dignity." And thankfully not 24.99 because I did not go see this abomination in theaters. I waited for streaming.
I was amazed that they were committed to the theatrical releases for these movies after how disastrous the first one was and how many reshoots they had to do for the other 2. They still got the theatrical releases. They were
So
committed.
I'll get into my thoughts about Renny Harlin a little later because I am conflicted. I do enjoy his work usually. Chapter 1, I didn't hate. When the trailer dropped, there were some things I saw in there, specifically the shower scene, um, that kind of drew me in. I
Okay.
didn't know they had announced a trilogy, but we did not know at the time what it would look like. We didn't know that it was going to be, one long night stretched across 3 fucking movies. So there were questions. Is it going to be like the first one is a remake of the original, and the second one is a remake of Pray at Night, and then the third one is something new? I had no idea what I was getting into. I like Madeline Petch. I was excited about her casting. And the first one, objectively, is the best of the franchise. It's not saying much.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, faint praise. It's essentially a retread of the first movie, only surrounding the story now is a town full of people
Are
who behave.
complicit.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where we get to eventually, but for the first movie or 2, the way that the movie presents it is that they're just being suspicious for no reason. Like,
It's
every
weird.
character, apart from the protagonist in this movie, just acts shady for no reason, even when they have nothing to do with what's going on. They just act suspicious and weird for no other reason than to be red herrings. And it's just tedious and boring. And it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
especially when you have all these red herrings laid out, and then in part 2, you confirm fairly quickly that this dude is one of the killers by way of a
Yeah,
tattoo on his neck. So, we're not even
and
halfway through the second movie, and
yeah.
the mystery is just completely fucking evaporated.
Well, they confirm in the opening scene who another of the killers is as well, don't they? Because it's
Yep.
the one woman talking to the camera, then it cuts to whatever specific flashback scene they had at that point in the movie where it shows her as a kid. So I guess there was kind of a hope there that maybe it was a bit of misdirection, but that's not what happens, guys. There's no misdirection in these movies apart from everyone else acting suspicious. The three main suspicious people they present you with are the bad guys, and there's no detour.
There's no mystery.
Like this big lumbering oaf who appears to be intellectually challenged is in fact the Scarecrow.
Intellectually challenged. I'm dead.
He's just a bozo. Like that one
No,
scene in the
I
second movie where they're
don't
in the bedroom
disagree.
together, him and Madeline Petch, and he's just standing there like creepy and grumbling.
Do you wanna talk about a bozo?
Yeah, let's
What
talk
about
about those.
Madeline Petch's boyfriend? Towards the end of the first movie, he's got a shotgun pointed at pinup girl's face.
Yeah, and he doesn't shoot just 'cause.
He, like, freezes for a second, and he ends up dead.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
the thing with.
swear, it felt like that shotgun was pointed at her for, like, 30 seconds. I know I'm not right. I know I'm exaggerating things, but,
Well,
like,
everything feels longer in the Renny Harlin Strangers universe. Most
that's
scenes are
fair.
dragged out interminably. But yeah, that's the whole thing about the first movie, that they actually could have really gotten away. Like I mentioned earlier, there's this scene where we know where all three of the strangers are, and we know where the two protagonists are, and there's like a window behind them that they could have just gotten out and like ran into the woods, and they just don't do it. They hang around because the movie has to continue somehow, and Renny Harlin can't find a logical way for it to happen, so the characters are just extra stupid, even by slasher standards. But she
Yeah.
survives, though, so good for her. Drag her away through 2 movies.
I hope to see Madeline Petch in more horror movies
She's gonna be an
because I
AHS 13.
she is. I do think she's a good actress. I think that The Strangers was not the best vehicle for her or for anybody for that matter. Nobody could have spun that into to
At
gold.
least Richard Brake got paid. Like, that's the silver lining to all this.
But one is definitely look, you're not gonna catch me rewatching any of these anytime soon, but one is definitely my favorite of the 3. The bar is low. So when I say
You got
the
me to
favorite,
rewatch the second one.
I think
Remember
you
that?
lost
Like,
I feel like you lost a bet.
I don't know what happened, but
Oh, I hadn't seen it yet. That's true.
I
You
agreed to
watched it
watch it with
before
you,
me, and then when I watched it, I didn't wanna watch it alone.
which then carried over into our watch of the third film, which I don't know, is it worse than the second one?
The second one, when it came out so I didn't go see any of these in theaters, by the way. I knew they weren't, like, on that level.
Yeah, we watched them all together in the end.
And then when the second one came out, I saw a lot of people reviewing it saying it felt like one long chase scene, and that kind of reinvigorated my interest a little bit.
Yeah, that oversells it a lot, though. If it's one
Well,
long chase scene, it's a very disjointed one.
it does feel like one long chase scene. There's a lot more action in
CGI
that
hard.
movie. It's just cat and mouse between her and Scarecrow the whole movie, and yeah, it felt disjointed. We get heavily into their backstory in chapter 2, which
Backstory
is
we did not need
which
at
is
all.
my biggest issue with this new trilogy. Most of what happens in part 2, I don't care for. I'd be very curious to know whose idea it was to take one movie and make it into 3. Was it Renny Harlin's? Was it the studio?
I think he was
Maybe Renny Harlin knows this is dog shit too.
maybe. I think he was hired after the 3 movies were conceptualized. And like Rennie Harlin, he's not going to come in and tell a studio how many movies he's going to do, is he? He'll take what he's given. But did you say what you rated the first movie? It's 1 star for me, which is high for this trilogy, guys. Trust.
I gave it 3 stars.
Okay. So you enjoyed the first one, not the second one.
The second one, I gave it 1 star. How about you?
Well, I gave it half a star on Letterbox, but that's only because Letterbox forces you to rate them half star minimum. It's a 0-star movie for me. Just abysmal from start to
Ouch.
finish. And I don't know how true it is, but I read on Twitter that the flashback scenes with the kids were part of the reshoots that they did after the first movie flopped. That's insane.
So they thought that the backstory was what was going to save this
I
ill-fated
guess
project?
Madeleine Petsch, I think she said like 80% of the movies were reshoots. I don't know whether that refers to both of the sequels or to just the second one or just the third one. But yeah, I had read that the flashback scenes were reshoots. And that's crazy to me because like these are probably the worst scenes I've seen in a mainstream movie that got a theatrical release. And they were reshoots.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, it blows my mind that their idea for improving this movie was to include those scenes. That they're cutting room floor scenes, I'm afraid.
The thing that Renny Harlin and the studio seem to not have understood very well is the reason the first two movies work so well is the mystery,
Yeah, that's why it's called The Strangers. You don't
right?
know who they are. You know everything about them by the end of this trilogy. It's stupid.
The Acquaintances, chapter
Exactly.
1, 2,
I,
and 3.
I think I saw a review
Besties,
saying
chapter
something
1,
like
2, and
that.
3.
I think somebody wrote a review on Letterboxd saying something like that. But yeah, by the end, you just know everything about them. You know more about them than you know about fucking Madeleine Petsch's character, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then her sister shows up for some reason in the third movie with like an FBI agent in tow, and that just goes nowhere
Inexplicably.
either. Yeah, that goes nowhere interesting. In fact, it just underlines the stupidity of Madeleine Petsch's character because she just watches her sister get murked and does nothing about it.
Also, we're upping the ante from stupid police officers in movies to stupid FBI agents in movies.
Yeah, guy was useless.
The third movie for me goes off the rails because
Was
the
it
whole
ever on the
thing,
rails?
I was really hopeful that, they shut the bed with the first two and that the third one would be leading towards something.
Yeah, now's the
Um,
good stuff, guys. Enough of
now
all
that
that.
now that we've turned you off completely,
I mean, well, it's the climax, isn't it? They should up the ante a little bit, like
the whole
go crazy or
movie
something.
is a back and forth again between Madeline Petch and Scarecrow. So it's a bit of a rehash of the second one. The only difference is in this one, they've thrown a whole fuck ton of sexual tension in there just for fun.
Yeah, and he's trying to recruit her to be the new stranger because at the end of the previous movie, one of the strangers was killed. I
Yeah,
forget, was it Dollface or Pinup Girl?
I think it
They're
was
all trash.
Dollface. And these movies also imply that there's something between Scarecrow and Pinup Girl. They have some lingering moments. They share a really long hug.
Yeah, like
And
there's
in
romance here now, guys. This movie has it
and
all when you think about it.
well, he's a slut because in the third movie, he's
Man,
trying to
how?
recruit Madeline Petch's character, and she's kind of leaning into it, which,
Well, she's playing along. She's trying to
well,
survive,
I
isn't she?
wasn't sure. I thought, oh my God, is she going to join him?
That's what they teased with the marketing.
But I wouldn't put it past them to actually go in that direction and commit to it.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't
Because
make any sense, and the rest of the series hasn't made any sense, so why not?
exactly. So it wouldn't have been completely implausible for them to go that route. But then it turns out she's only leaning into it to trick him so she can ultimately escape.
And that's
Very
pretty much all the
underwhelmed.
plot of this movie. That's all it has, apart from Richard Brake got them out of court or something.
Ask me what part 3 is about, and all I remember is Richard Brake and a lot of unnecessary sexual tension.
This movie could have been 20 minutes long. I'm not even joking. Like,
The trailer could have been the fucking movie.
it could have been like the trailer told you pretty much the whole story, apart from what happens to this one guy at the end. Every scene in this movie is drawn out. It's crazy. Like, this could have been a 20-minute movie and they stretch it out to whatever the fucking runtime was, 90 minutes, 100 minutes. It's all the same once you reach Strangers Chapter 3 territory. And I said when I watched the second one that it was probably the worst mainstream horror movie I've ever seen. And Renny Harlin, he went and shocked me. He made a movie that was even worse. But he's still got it, guys. At least he's going back to doing a shark movie now. That's a relief because this shit, fuck.
I'm excited to watch Deepwater.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that because I mean we'll always have Deep Blue Sea, won't we? And like I'll as much as I dislike his recent movies, I'll give him a chance when it comes to sharks. You know, it's worked before. Just stay the
Well,
fuck away from the strangers.
I'm actually a big fan of Renny Harlin.
Maybe 25 years ago I was.
I think The
Not that I
Dream
was watching them
Master
then.
is nowhere near as bad as people say it is. It's actually probably one of the goriest nightmare movies.
You know, I've never rewatched it since I originally saw it. I don't think I liked it, but I don't really revisit the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as much as I do other franchises. So
Neither do I, and
I can't really write him off for that.
I've been wanting to do a franchise rewatch lately. 'Cause same, I don't rewatch it as I rewatch the original, I rewatch Dream Warriors and New Nightmare. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, pretty much. Like for me, it's usually the first one, A New Nightmare, that I go back to. Even though I really like Dream Warriors, it's like 2 or 3 movies in this franchise I'll rewatch, and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch them together.
I really do like The Dream Master.
He's done some other
Cliffhanger.
movies that were really.
Cliffhanger, The Long Kiss Goodnight, Deep Blue Sea. Yes, you're right. In recent years, it's been a bit rough for him. I'm hoping Deep Water is a bit of a return to form. Die Hard 2, look, I love Die Hard. Everybody loves Die Hard. Die Hard 2 is so underappreciated. It's almost as good as the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had fun with Die Hard too.
When he was announced for this, I was kind of struggling to connect the dots, but I was really hoping that it would be an interesting take. But again, we didn't know what it was going to be. If I had known that they were stretching one movie into 3, I would have been against it from the jump.
Well, I was down for it when it was just the trailer territory that we were in, and it looked like it could potentially be a good reboot of the original movie. But then he started talking, and he was like, I
What did
think
he
we all
say?
wondered who the strangers were
Oh God,
and
yeah, I
who
remember that.
Tamara was. And even people that were enthusiastic about this series reboot were like, what? Even they were weirded out, Marianne.
We don't care who Tamara is.
Like, it's just a random name they came.
That's it. At the end of the original movie, they all take their masks off, which the viewer, we don't see their faces, but we see their masks fall to the floor as they advance on Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler to kill them, which we learn later Liv Tyler is still alive.
Yeah, and
That
that's all we
i-
need.
that in and of itself is scary because they plan on killing you. That
Yeah,
just perfectly
that's where it's really
encapsulates what
great.
makes it work.
Whereas
Yeah.
in the last 3 movies, their masks are off most of the fucking time. We know who they are. It doesn't matter. And we don't get side views or partial views of their faces. We get them front and center, 3 fucking movies. It's just crap. Yeah, like 0 stars, of course, for the last one. God damn.
I gave it half a star because, yeah, you gotta give something on Letterboxd.
I know, right?
They need to put, like, a trash can button.
I mean, I
That
guess
means it's shit from a butt.
technically you have the option of reviewing and not giving it the star rating. I want a 0 star option, to properly express my contempt for movies like this. Because I'm a hater.
This trilogy absolutely did not need to happen. If they had announced a remake, but like a one-off movie, I maybe would have had different feelings.
Well, a one-off movie is kind of restrictive in a good way, isn't it? When they announced the trilogy, they have no choice but to expand on it, and what we
To fill
get
3
is the Strangers
movies.
trilogy. Yeah,
It's
and
such a commitment.
even then, they have the plot of one movie spread across 3 movies, so it's not like it was rewarding in that sense. But yeah, they kind of pigeonholed themselves by making it a trilogy.
It's wild to me that they announced a trilogy because and I'm not
Do you think they wanted to be Halloween?
that's exactly the problem. I'm not shading the original 2 movies. I love them to death. I really do. I find them to be criminally underrated.
Absolutely.
But that being said, they're not exactly like this juggernaut franchise. It's 2 movies.
Yeah, 2 movies that were 10 years apart as well. It's
Exactly.
not like a tentpole franchise here. So it was kind of odd that they would go with a trilogy straight out the gates.
They were trying to do something with it to give it some kind of longevity, and ultimately, the real shame is that I think they did more damage to the franchise than good.
Well, with the Halloween reboot trilogy, it was organic, really, what happened there, because it was meant to be a legacy sequel, which then was so successful that it spun off into another 2 sequels, which, whatever my feelings are about them.
But those tickets were
It,
gonna sell out.
yeah,
Even Halloween Ends, which is wildly unpopular, made a lot of money at the box back.
yeah, absolutely. The point is that I'm trying to make is that Halloween 2018 was capable of standing on its own, regardless of whether it got any sequels.
Yes.
The Strangers trilogy, it was never designed in that way, so we end up with so much filler because of that.
It's funny because rumor has it that Jason Blum did the same thing. He committed to 3 movies right off the bat.
I always thought that it was because Halloween was so immediately successful that it got spun off into 2 more movies.
I
It
could
was
have
pretty quick.
sworn it was from the outset, but regardless,
Maybe I'm misremembering.
announcing 3 movies for a franchise like Halloween, it's a safe bet because the
Absolutely.
money's gonna come in. With The Strangers, there are a lot of fans. It's not really a mainstream movie. There's no way like, I struggle to understand how any studio would greenlight 3 movies without just first releasing 1
Yeah, like,
to get
release
the
one.
temperature of the audience and to see if this thing has legs. Instead, they cut the legs out from under the entire franchise, and because it did so badly financially and the reviews were just abysmal, because of that, the studio, whoever owns the rights to this franchise, they're not gonna touch this again for a very long time, and that kinda pisses me off. It's the same reason I think that we haven't gotten a new Nightmare since 2010, nobody wants to touch it because that was such a fucking disaster.
Yeah, they killed that shit off. There's not even any rights disputes about Freddy, is there? So,
No.
they've just decided not to go back to the well on that one
Well, that's it.
for 16 years. That's how bad it was.
They're all about their
That's
bottom
ill will
line.
for you.
Renny Harlin kinda sucks for that, but as you said, it's the studio who decided 3 movies. I just don't understand.
Renny Harlin kinda sucks, period. That's my view.
He's a shitty
Wastes.
human being confirmed, but, I do like some of his movies, but he's a shitty human being. He was really shitty, to one of the actresses on the set of Nightmare Dream Master.
I don't know the law there. No, I was just talking about him as a director.
It's disgust and Never Sleep Again.
It's been a long time since I watched that, so it's passed through my brain.
This entire trilogy. Oh my god, I'm dying. Avenge me.
Currently hiring new podcast hosts and editors, by the way. I'm not doing that shit. I can just watch the original 2 and not think about what came afterwards. It's sort of like with the Scream movies and how the storyline of the first 2, 3, 4 Scream movies has been retconned over the years. I can just, disregard that when I'm watching the individual movies, and it's the same as The Strangers. Like
You
when I
even
watch.
retcon Jill's death when you watch Scream 4.
Yeah, yeah, there was a little micro movement there.
No, she's dead.
And there's a version of the movie where she's alive at the end, so that's that's real to me, damn it. And, like, when I watch Scream 1996, I don't think of Roman and Bridget pulling the strings in the background,
No,
and I don't think of how Billy Loomis is apparently having an affair this whole time or whatever. I
no.
just appreciate Scream 1996 for what it was when it came out, and I appreciate the first 2 Strangers movies for what they were, and fuck Renny Harlin and everyone else involved in the last 3. Except Richard Brake. I love Richard Brake. I'm glad he got
So do
paid.
I.
Like, we stan Richard Brake on this podcast.
Last year when I met him, I asked him
Why?
because I think if I'm not mistaken, at that point we had gotten a teaser trailer for Strangers Chapter 3. I'm not 100% sure.
Was he cagey?
You know, because we watched all these movies together, 1, 2, and 3. I said it after we watched part 1 and 2 that I was looking forward to seeing more Richard Brake.
Yeah, and even I was. As much as I hated those movies, I was looking forward to seeing more of him.
So I asked him, I'm like, please, please just tell me that I'm going to see a lot more of you in Strangers Chapter 3.
She fell to her knees when she said this. I beg you. What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He raised one eyebrow, a bit of a diabolical expression on his face, to be honest.
He knew we weren't ready for the the diabolical film that was Strangers Chapter 3.
He couldn't say anything. I wasn't asking him to spoil the movie. I just wanted to know what I could expect, like screen time wise.
He does get a lot more. That's the
He
one
does.
positive of the third movie.
He does. But that facial expression that he hit me with, I do play it over in my mind ever since I watched part 3.
What did he mean by this?
It could have meant one of 2 things. He was either confirming that, yes, he was gonna get more screen time and I was gonna get exactly what I wanted, or he was confirming that he was gonna get more screen time, but don't get too excited about it. And I'm not sure which.
Maybe he was self-aware about this particular movie.
He really didn't wanna get into it much more than that, I don't think.
Like, get out of here, you. Sick of you showing up at every convention. giving me shit.
I wasn't giving him I would never. I would never. He was such a sweetheart, and the Welsh accent is just
I forget that he's Welsh
yeah, it's a
because
good accent.
he's always doing American accents in his movies.
He does it really well.
But yeah, I thought, well, I guess it's not so bad. Richard Brake's been in bad movies before, but I looked through his filmography and it's actually pretty strong overall.
It is.
Considering his willingness to be in horror movies, like he has a very good strike rate. I forgot he was in Doom. We watched that yesterday, and he's a highlight in that movie. Like fuck the Rock. We're all
Mhm.
about Richard Brake over here. But yeah, this is probably the low point in his filmography.
I
I say probably.
like you, there's very little that he's been in that I don't really enjoy. Even
Hannibal Rising was bad.
Three from Hell, which I do realize that the audience just misses Sid Haig in that movie.
Yeah, it does spoil a bit, but he filled in nicely.
I find like Three from Hell and 31 are very often the least popular of his movies. I don't know. I fuck with both of them.
Okay, so Rob Zombie is to you what Guy Busick is to me. Like, I'll be seated for your original stuff. Just stay away from IPs and sequels.
Yeah.
Is he even making anything nowadays? Like, it's been a while, hasn't it? Hollywood doesn't want Rob Zombie making movies anymore, I guess. You probably don't.
I think we're past the era where studios and rights holders are willing to let just anybody take a stab at a franchise. I feel like with the horror
Stuff's
resurgence
streamlined now.
yeah, I feel like with the horror resurgence of the early 2000s, they were just letting anybody take a stab at IP because they saw dollar signs. But I feel like now we're in an era where even the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre have been scooped up, which really is a shame because if there's any IP I would ever genuinely want Rob Zombie to adapt, it would be Texas Chainsaw. That's definitely his style.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
his
that's why he
wheelhouse.
went with Halloween. Maybe he wanted to pivot and show a different kind of style, but he made it grimy and greasy, just like TCM. So he basically kind of gave Halloween the TCM treatment to a certain degree. I'd love to see his take. I feel like The Devil's Rejects
Yeah.
is so TCM coded. It's fucking wild.
Well, that and House of Thousand Corpses, they're very much in that kind of TCM mold.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna get Curry Barker's TCM, so a lot of people are excited about that. And to follow on from last week, you've actually watched Obsession now, haven't you?
I
What do you
have.
think about it? I haven't seen it yet. Oh,
It wasn't terrible.
is this your controversial take of the week? Obsession sucks, actually. You're all wrong. I saw your star rating. 3.5 stars you rated it, and everyone else is rating it 5 stars, 4.5 stars. I was like, it's 3.5 stars probably means something. Like, you're not in line with everyone else then.
I enjoyed it. Indy Navarette was just amazing. Hands
Everyone's
down,
raving
best
about her.
thing about the movie. I saw, unfortunately, a couple of spoilers. So I knew this going in that there was a very omnipresent theme of sexual assault in the
Yeah.
movie because Nikki, she doesn't have autonomy.
Yeah.
And this loser, Bear, anyways, I'm not getting too much into it. I will say, because I'm not a fan of SA scenes, you know this, it's not my
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I will say, at least in terms of this movie, the scenes were there to drive the story.
Okay.
It wasn't gratuitous.
It's contextualized properly then.
Exactly. It just takes it to a dark place.
And it's not for you. Like, you're an 80s slasher girl. You're about fun.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it, but it was, yeah, a bit too much for me.
I'm still waiting for digital, so I'll let you know when it hits digital and I'll watch it then. I saw your rating and the lack of a review, which you've been reviewing pretty much everything lately. And I thought, well, there's an issue here. I hope it's half as good as people say it is.
It's a very good movie, but a heavy watch for a Friday night.
It wasn't a fun night at the movies for Marianne when Obsession was playing.
Oh, I do need to give it a rewatch. I'm gonna wait for digital, but I don't think it was overhyped.
Okay, you don't think it was overhyped. It was just not your
Not for me.
kind of movie. Okay.
No.
Well, that's good. I don't mind a serious horror movie every now and then, so maybe this will be one of the movies that
I
I
think this
actually
is
like
gonna
more
be
than
right
you.
up your alley. I think you're really gonna like it.
Okay. Hopefully, we'll find out in a couple of weeks because it's going to digital pretty quickly. Silver lining of the Strangers trilogy, Richard Brake getting work. That's the takeaway this week.
Fuck Renny Harlin.
Whoa,
Fuck
I've
Jason
converted you.
Universe.
We've circled back.
We love you, Brian Bertino.
Oh, yeah, we do. We love Brian Patino. Is he still directing? Has he done anything recently? I mean,
Why do you ask me? You have a phone in front of you.
well, I can look.
The Dark and the Wicked. That was, oof.
That's another heavy movie, wasn't it? That
Oh,
wasn't
that
really up your
was
street. I still haven't
so
watched it, but
heavy.
like I've heard things.
He was a producer on The Black Coat's Daughter.
Hell yeah, see, he was cooking from the start. Like that's goaded of him. Imagine directing The Strangers and producing The Black Coat's Daughter. Fuck yeah, Brian Bertino. Body count continues out.
Calm down.
Watch the first two Strangers movies, and then like look at Richard Brake's filmography. Pick something else.
Do a marathon of the Richard Brake filmography.
Good idea. Liv Tyler. Maybe do more horror movies. I don't know.
Should have been brought back for Prey at Night. She should have been the mother. Make the kids a little younger. I don't know. It was 10 years later. I mean, if anything we learned from Texas Chainsaw 3D is that math doesn't matter.
Was Richard Brake in that one?
I don't know. There were a lot of people, especially in the opening.
Feels like the kind of movie where he'll show up for a minute or two.
He was
just
in
forget it.
fucking Devil's Rejects, and he was wearing a gas mask the whole time, and I'm really annoyed because I can't pinpoint him.
Yeah, Kane Hodder did the same thing in Devil's Rejects, didn't he?
That's what I was talking about, Kane Hodder.
I was talking about Richard Brake.
I know. I don't know. I feel like this is a good point to stop because, like, my thoughts are just getting more and more scattered.
Okay.
Thank y'all for listening, and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next Tuesday.
For better movies than the Strangers trilogy.
Well, the bar is low.